Hi, this is Enis from Never Stop Trucking. In this video we will be talking about some tips for dispatchers in order to negotiate better loads. We all know that markets are not doing that great right now, and sometimes it is really hard or impossible to dispatch and be able to negotiate these loads, but we can do our best. So here are some general tips for you to use now and in future, and hopefully when the markets improve we can start doing all of these. And I do have one video where I talk about a lot of dispatcher tips, but those are very advanced tactics, and you can find that video here on my YouTube channel. The first tip that I have for you is know your lane average before you call. Before picking up the phone, know what the lane is paying on average using tools like DAT RateView or TruckStop Load IQ. If the broker lowballs you, counter confidently with facts. For example, that lane averages 2.75 per mile. You're offering 220. Can you come up? Now, here is also very important to know what the lane averages for coming back out of that area. Once you're in a bad area, then there is no coming back. So do your research, because right now the markets are changing almost every day. There are some bad areas that we all know of, but sometimes some areas will be really good. For example, a few weeks ago, Atlanta was very bad, but yesterday I looked for some loads and I noticed that there were 2,500 loads posted for a drive-in just out of Atlanta. So know where you're going and how much you can expect from there. Sometimes if you know that the area is really good, for example in this case Atlanta, Georgia, you might want to look at options before you book a load to go there. Maybe even book that load if it's really paying well, and then you can find another load to go there and deliver on that date so you can pick up that good paying load. The next step that I have for you is control the conversation. Take charge right away. Don't ask what's your offer. Instead say, we run this lane often, we're looking for X amount of dollars on this load. Confidence changes the way brokers respond. Lead, don't follow. I see a problem here, especially with some dispatchers that are from abroad, especially with female ones. It might be a culture thing or just the way they're doing business over there. But here, if you want to get a better rate and if you want to sound professional and accomplish something, you gotta sound confident. You cannot be shy or hesitating, or they cannot sense fear in your voice. That shows that you're inexperienced, that you don't know the industry, and that you're not taking charge, not just about the load. Because if a broker thinks that you're not going to be able to talk to the driver because that driver is going to hold their load, if you're not able to communicate with the driver and take control if there is a problem on the road, they just don't want to work with you. So you gotta sound confident and be confident in whatever you do from the very beginning of the conversation to the end, right? I'm not saying everyone is built that way, but with enough experience and training, I'm sure these are one of the skills that you can acquire. Build a broker contact list. That's our next tip. Good dispatchers don't just chase loads, they build the relationships. Keep a list of brokers you work with, including rates, communication, and payment behavior. When you call back, you can say, hey, I'm John from Never Stop Trucking. Don't say Never Stop Trucking. I've got a truck ready for the lane we ran last month. Them being familiar with you earns trust and earns you better rates. What I like to do when I have a truck in an area, if I really cannot find a load, or maybe this would be the first thing I do once I book a load to go somewhere, I can go back to our TMS that we are using and just type in the location, destination name for this load, and then all the loads that are already done with other drivers and other brokers will come up. And then if this load is delivered in Chicago, Illinois, I can just type in Chicago or one of those larger cities close to Chicago, and I can see what loads we have done in the past. You can also go to your email, just type in that city name or the closest largest city right there, and you can come up with maybe a load that you've done before. Contact those brokers, ask them, email them, or call them. A lot of times they will not have a load, but sometimes they will, and they will see that you're interested in those loads. So they may even reach out to you after a few times you reach out to them about that certain lane. They might reach out to you later when they have that load. So this is not just for that one time opportunity. You're building a relationship like this, you're building trust, and they can see that you're there, that you're consistent, that you're inquiring about those loads. And because you did a good job and your driver did a good job on that first load, they will remember that, and with time they will probably contact you once they have that load again. Use time as leverage is our fourth tip. Loads with short pickup windows are gold for you. If a load picks up in 1 hour, you're running out of time to cover this. You can tell them that we can get it done, but we'll need X amount of dollars again to make it happen. Last minute loads equal negotiation power, and that I'm not that kind of a person that always waits till the last minute. I know there are some dispatchers who will do that, and some dispatchers and drivers will like that because they can sometimes get better loads waiting for the day of the delivery and then look for loads, or later in the day. But to me that's a little bit risky. I personally don't like to do that. I like to cover and look for loads in advance. I know when I was driving, I always loved having loads in advance because I can drive relaxed. When I'm going to delivery a day before, I know that I have a load tomorrow, and I can plan where to sleep, where to get fuel, how long this is gonna take, and then I can always plan for the next load, and then maybe even book a load after that one. So in my opinion, it's good to have loads ahead, but then if something happens, you can't find a load gets canceled, and then if you see that the broker has a short pickup time window, your driver is empty, they're not too far away, you gotta use that, and you gotta use other things to tell them, hey, my driver is empty now, he has fresh hours, he just did a 10-hour reset or a 34-hour reset, he's ready to go. This is my best driver. This guy has been with me for 10 years. This is a brand new truck and trailer. It's not gonna let you down. It's gonna deliver your load safely and in a timely manner. And then another thing that I have for you is be willing to walk away. You have to be able to kind of judge the situation. When you see that there are a lot of loads popping up on the load boards, and if you have enough time to cover that truck, and if this is something that you don't like, just know that you can probably book something a little bit better than that. So just be ready to do that. Now this is only if you're very confident that you're going to be able to find a load. This is not a tactic for the end of the day or a Friday afternoon. This is something you gotta be able to judge the situation, and you gotta let the broker sense that in your voice, in your tone. When you talk to them, you can just tell them, hey, I'm just gonna keep looking for something else. I'll save your phone number. If something changes, call me back. This is my phone number. Let's do this. I would love to work with you. Something like that. You can tell them we got other options. If anything changes, give me a call. Walking away shows strength and often brings them back with a better offer. That's for sure true, especially when the markets are good. A lot of times they will come back and say, hey, we reconsidered your offer. Maybe we can do this, but we can do this much. My manager gave me an approval. These tips don't just help you book loads, they help you run a profitable business. Start tracking your broker contacts, negotiate smart, and never take the first offer unless this guy has to move. There's really nothing else, and maybe they need to go home and there are no loads. In rare situations like that, sometimes you have to take whatever there is. This is Anis from Never Stop Trucking. Come back for more, and I'll see you around.